What's good, y'all? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 148, and this week you're in for a treat. I bring on host of the former podcast, Sup Podcast, Chris Cheney, former guest, of course. You know him from previous episodes, but he helped me host a live show here in New York with our guest, Jesse Villanueva of Thumpers NYC, also Alife and Concepts now. But this is such an amazing episode. First time ever doing something live. Dropping it this week because you know what's happening this week? Complex Con weekend. And I will be there full on press doing video interviews with everybody that I can get on there. So be on the lookout for that content as well. Come in, look, this is the year that the podcast is leveling up. 3 years, I'm not going to stay stagnant. I'm going to keep pushing and see how far we can get more stories out into the ether and try to get just storytelling back into sneakers. So beyond just the brands telling us their stories, we definitely miss the real culture behind sneakers, and we also miss just everyone sharing stories. I think it's just a great time, and that's why I started this podcast. Anyway, what you're about to tune into is one, the most outside of my comfort zone I've ever been, because as you can tell, I do this mostly in the house and never in front of a crowd, never in person. I've guested on a couple podcasts, and those are in person, but I like to keep this flexible as possible and doing it within the comforts of each other's homes. I mean, my guest and me, it makes it just a lot more adaptable. A lot like I get to throw in some graphics, update the graphics as much as I can, and just elevate the podcast from this standpoint because not everybody into sneakers or anybody that I have as a guest is able to just come down to New York and I don't know, jump into my house in this episode. So you get this little glimpse of me in my house and the guest in their house, and it was just a little slice of just our conversation. But this is a whole new experience. Everybody's in the building, live crowd interaction. I'm just extremely grateful for Chris Cheney for giving me this chance. So make sure you follow him at Not That Cheney on all social medias. Hit up his website, notthatcheney.com. Definitely check out Sold Out Comedy because this was in collaboration with Sold Out Comedy. We had 3 comedians come up. Amazing. I didn't include their sets because to be honest, I don't think I'm allowed to, but I should have probably asked, but I just played it safe. I just put the podcast episode after this intro. You'll see that. And just make sure if you live in New York City, hit up Sold Out, the Sold Out Comedy. It's at the end of every month. It's the last Tuesday of every month, and follow his Instagram, which is Sold Out Comedy at Sold Out Comedy. All this stuff is going to be in the description of this podcast. Uh, you know, and then where to find Jesse? Jesse is at Thumpers NYC. And his merch, his gear is gorgeous. I love all of it. It's so clean. And if you're in Japan, that's where he sells it. If you're in Japan, pull up to his. I don't know where he's selling it out of, but if you follow Thumpers NYC, you'll see exactly where he's dropping it. And then follow that. Hit up the website. All that information is also going to be in the description of this podcast. And then also, I will be at Complex Con. By the time you hear this, it's Friday. And if you're at Complex Con, Saturday, I will be there. I will be asking questions. I have three main questions for people who haven't been guests or just regular attendees of Complex Con. And then I have another set of questions for people who have been guests because I've been reaching out to people and seeing who's going to be there so I can get my mindset on what we're going to talk about and on video. So that's going to be fun. I'll probably do a recap once I come back, but it's not going to be a whole episode. It'll probably just be I already have come on, I work ahead. I got episodes on deck for you guys. That's gonna be great post the live show. So I'm hoping you'll or will be enjoying the live show that I'm putting up for y'all. And you know where to find me. I am Who Is Haas on all social media. Follow the podcast on My First Kicks Pod. Follow the podcast. And if you're listening to this, please look down. Look at the screen, because it is now on Apple Podcasts. You get a video feed. So please leave a review. I'm missing reviews. I haven't had a review in a long time. So please leave a hopefully 5-star review of listening to this podcast on Apple Podcasts if you're listening to it. And then also on Spotify, if you're listening on there, please leave a review. It will be extremely helpful. Don't have a ton of reviews. I would love to see that number in the triple digits at least. And then if you are on YouTube watching this, also, please hit me with a like on the video and subscribe to the podcast so you can see all my other, knickknacks and videos. I'm hoping maybe I'll expand once I come back to see just what else I can put up and hopefully garner some subscribers. So just, trying here. I'm trying out in these streets, trying not to be like everybody else and continue to push being different and push everybody's stories because they're important, like I said earlier. And if you're on TikTok, My First Kicks on TikTok. So on to this week's episode with guest Jesse Villanueva. So I do a podcast called My First Kicks, and if you haven't listened, it's where I bring in a guest. I asked him this question. Previous guest, Frank, right here, Frozen. I asked him the question, what's that first pair of kicks you absolutely needed to have? I feel like it's a question that everybody has an answer to, and we are going to ask this to our special guest today while we set up here. But listen, I am absolutely nervous, and I'm going to be straight up with y'all. This is my first time being on a stage since high school, and and I was doing improv then, so you know how embarrassing I was back then. All right, so it's wild to think. Well, shout out to Cheney for putting this together. But it's wild to think that. No one needs to clap for me. It's wild to think that an idea I had during COVID was gonna end up on a stage in the middle of Bleecker Street, and this is my first time actually doing this in front of people, and like it's interesting that 145 episodes. So if you haven't listened to an episode, 140 something episodes, and last week I just recently had Russ Bankston on, a person that got me into sneakers. Pretty sure a lot of people into sneakers. And it was a goal of mine when I first started. And it's wild. I was able to reach out to him, get him on, and now it's wild that I'm able to do this in front of y'all today. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing up. And so, as a nervous wreck, I'm just going to bring up Chris Cheney. Yeah.
Miggity, Mike, miggity.
Yeah. Switch.
Switch? Well, no, because we have a guest.
I know, but just switch. Oh, no, now yours is on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, cool.
First time run, guys. First time run.
Don't worry. We'll be back with another one eventually. Yep. But Chris Cheney has been on a couple episodes. He helped me out tremendously in the beginning when I first started the podcast. He had me on his podcast, Sup Podcast, where we talked about everything streetwear. Like, we're both wearing Supreme hoodies. We know what's up. So.
But then we quit. We decided it wasn't worth it. Haas was like, "Nah, I'm going for it, bro."
Yeah. I was like, "Nah, I got stories to tell. We got stories to tell." So, yeah, 145 episodes.
Yeah, but, speaking of stories, the guest we're going to have on has some stories.
Yeah.
We got a little taste of it before the show, and we're gonna bring him on now. Villanueva.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you aren't familiar with Jesse, currently you have your own brand, Thumpers NYC.
Yep.
And you previously worked at Alife.
Yep.
You currently working at Concepts?
I'm general managing Concepts New York
Woo.
and activations and
Big fucking
stuff.
deal, people.
Yeah.
He'll never admit it, but big fucking deal.
Big deal.
Just old.
That also is very true.
If you're old and you just walk around, things will happen.
This is true. I'm gonna tell you this is true because I told you Ari, Menthol's Ari. If y'all know the menthol sneakers, Ari literally told me when I met up with him one day. He goes, "You just gotta walk around Bowery, man, and you're gonna get into sneakers." I was just like, "How's that an answer?" I just want to talk to more people about boutiques, and he's just like, "You just gotta walk around Bowery, man." I was just like, "All right, old man."
That is true.
But no. But yeah, also if you aren't familiar with Cheney, with Chris Cheney, he also works at Alife currently.
Well, the incarnation. Business is weird, guys. Especially in streetwear, business does not. Jesse, back me up here. Business, it's never like clean.
No. It's no.
I get Zelled my paycheck sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not always direct deposit like it's supposed to be. I have to sometimes remind my boss. I'm like, it's the 15th, right? He goes, oh, fuck.
I'm going to whose house to get my money? Wait, what?
Streetwear is weird. I don't know if like the business side and like the internal side. It's like a restaurant. You never know what you never want to watch them cook the food. You know what I mean? You just want to buy the hoodie and you want to look fly until you're like, oh, I can make a hoodie, and then you slowly learn over time.
Hoodies are cool. it's the cut and sew. It's the button ups. That's when you start. Yeah, that's the slippery slope.
Yeah, it's so Jesse. Just to give them a frame of reference of time you've been in streetwear. How long would you say you've been doing what quote unquote streetwear is?
Loose. I mean, I started working in a skate shop in '94.
I was 5.
Again, you just got to be old. That's literally it. Just show up.
I was 7. I'm a little bit older.
Okay. And then when I went to college, I started working for a sneaker store that was like really close to FSU Stadium. And because of that, they had like this really weird account where we could get all kinds of good stuff. And this was like 96, 97.
You had the hot shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was buying samples from the sales rep when he was done with the season. Then I'd piece them out one by one. Weed, things. But through that, I learned about selling MX 95s in Japan. Met a dude who lived in Los Angeles. And at that point, I was just like, I had every Nike outlet on the East Coast. Like, I had their phone number, and I'd call them. Did you get any more MX 95s? I'll take them. And they'd ship them to me. I'd pay with my credit card, and then I'd ship them to this guy in Los Angeles. He'd pay me for them. Literally, like, just trusting the fact that this guy, I'm sending you all this shit. You're going to send me money? Sure. And it all worked out. And that was, like, 96, 97. And that was when I started, like, figuring out I could sell shoes to people.
Were you Western Union people at the time?
No. This is like just credit cards and checks and
Jesus.
Yeah.
You was over here with the big machine, just
with the knuckle buster.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it was fucking amazing. But there was. I'm old again.
I mean, I'm relating with you. It's fine.
We're circling back.
I learned about that. I learned about that process when Dave Ortiz. I had Dave Ortiz on the pod. I had
love him.
Love Dave.
Great
and we were talking about that. Like, I mean, he was on Complex Sneaker Podcast. Not to shade over mine, but the process of just making money off of American specific sneakers was so lucrative in the 90s and 2000s. It was wow. That's how DQM started. Was just based off of just selling sneakers.
Can you give a context to who Dave is and what DQM is?
So Dave Ortiz is the creator of DQM, Dave's Quality Meats. It was a concept store down around Astor that was based off of butchers and a butcher shop. Right. So it was also a skate store, and It's one of my favorite places. DQM was a stomping ground for me when I was do my little Soho trips in college to buy sneakers with no money, with FAFSA money, to be honest. And so after lying on my FAFSA, so get that money, and me and my boys, we would just do the Supreme clientele. Clientele, hit up the Blades when it was actually good sneakers there.
Blades had good stuff.
Yeah, Blades
had good stuff, especially if you needed a pair of shoes to actually skate in that were good.
Yeah. And I used to get deals there too, because shit was on sale. You'd be like, SB's on sale. In this day and age, not popping, not happening.
Yeah. So what's very funny to me is the transformation of, because Jesse and Haas, you've both just explained like some very niche and very difficult things to deal with, right? Compared to now, where the SBs you guys were talking about, you're getting like on the cheap, are like $500.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
They're dropping again though.
They're dropping again.
Yeah. This shit is tanking right now. It's so bad.
I mean, I made a video.
You think so?
recently.
Dudes are getting jobs. Like resellers are getting jobs, man. The kids, they like work at restaurants now. And they have actual skills that you had no idea they had this whole time because you thought they wouldn't, because they spend 8 hours waiting for something.
You mean buying a bot is not a skill?
Oh shit!
No,
I just caught him. That's what's up. Lobster. Sorry, I had to.
See, you just catcalled him. This is what I was saying earlier. You just said he was a hot dude. That's exactly what you just did. And look, he hooked the orange to the orange on his shirt, man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I'm from Miami.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, and he's got the collegiate. It's like school shit.
That's it. He's going to add you on LinkedIn right
We're
now,
good.
bro.
We're done, right?
That's it.
We just did this. It's over.
Damn, should we just go around the room for a second? Because that shirt is fly as hell. You got the calm on, right?
Nah.
Is that just a heart or is that a calm heart?
No, that's a
Play.
calm heart.
That's play.
That's play. Okay, she doesn't even know what the fuck
play.
she's wearing. Look,
You're wearing
that's Haas's girlfriend, everybody.
that's CDG.
That was a gift, wasn't it?
No, she bought that.
You didn't even know what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah.
So,
but
okay.
if you say CDG, she knows. But if
Okay.
So, all right. So I'm gonna just hard pivot into the question.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into
the question that I ask everybody each week that listens to an episode or jumps on. What's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely needed to have?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, you the guest guy.
Oh shit.
No, we're gonna ask orange and
I have
green.
like the worst answer ever, but it's very real because I absolutely remember it to this day.
Yeah, of course. Just say it.
I was like 6 or 7. I was at the Dadeland Mall. I grew up in Miami. And there was in like a sporting goods store, there was a pair of Nike All Courts, white and university blue. Like literally the most boring shoe you could possibly. But for some reason, I fucking wanted that thing. And I was like, it's probably 6. So like, I'm gonna say 6 because I like threw a huge temper tantrum in like the middle of the fucking store, and like cried a bunch. And then my mom bought them for me. But I remember that, and it was an all court, which is probably the most boring of the Nikes you could possibly choose.
Yo, but right now that shit is hype, bro.
Yeah, that shit is fire right now.
You know.
Now there's lines for that right now, or digital lines, I should say.
All courts?
Dude, yeah, dudes they're pretty going. Fuck, I want to eat the all courts, dude.
I mean, they stopped making them because something happened behind the scenes, and now if you try to get a pair on like GOAT or whatever, they're like $837.
That's what I'm saying, guy.
Like,
It's
nostalgia wins always, man. Like. I mean, look at retro
or
Jordans.
Pulling the shoe off the market helps tremendously.
That's
like Cortez is like, what was it, a year and a half ago, a pair of like Cortez Standards was like $400 fucking dollars.
Yes.
They hadn't made them in like 4 years.
Yes.
So like I just wanted the blue suede with the nylon, the regular shit. $450, I'm not.
It's so
they're back.
It's so interesting to see that like it got so crazy to the point where dudes were like, "Can I just get regular New Balances? All right, I'll pay $200. I'll pay $300. I'll pay $400. Just give me some regular shit."
Yeah.
Look. I mean, are you talking about Jown? Are you talking about Jown releases? Because that's what it sounds like.
Don't even get me started on Jown. It's fucking stupid Canadian brand. Fucking nothing. They just, literally. All right. This is what I'll say. I'm gonna go on record by saying Alife was the first brand to go stamp of approval. That's how you do it. The shoe is perfect. Just put the logo on it. Now you got fucking like Jound. What the fuck? What is Jound? ALD I think is cheap too.
ALD is.
I'm talking shit.
ALD is like bagels. Like if you want to eat bagels every day.
ALD is Kith if you like Noah.
There's that picture of Jared Kushner wearing the ALD hat, the ALD Mets hat. I'm just gonna leave that right there.
But I mean, I got a question for both of y'all. Like,
yeah,
what made y'all want to jump into like working in streetwear? Like, what was the pivotal moment where you're like, all right, this is it, and I'm gonna do this?
You want me to go first, or you want to go?
You're up, though.
Oh no, guess first.
Guess
They're clamoring for Jesse. They don't want Chris.
At no point did I think I went to school for creative writing. Like I was writing like sneaker articles for like The Source and Sneaker Freaker, and like I got as soon as I graduated, I like took like a year and a half off. I started working at Scholastic Books.
There you go.
Like I
Hell
was
yeah,
like,
dude.
New life.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go into work every day, and like I was there for like a year and a half, and I was like, I cannot fucking do this shit. And then like slowly just like started helping people out with like footwear allocations, because at that time, European allocation, there was like Europe, America, or Europe, North America, and or the Americas, and APAC, which would have been like, Japan, whatever.
Yeah.
And European releases came out in Canada, and I had like a dude in Canada, so I could get like the Euro releases that they couldn't get here in the States and get those shipped, or trade them for like shoes that they need there that wouldn't sell here that I could get on sale, whatever. And slowly started working with just like different people, started working with Alife, and I literally was just like, I was just trying to like pay bills for a while.
Yeah.
And here we are. Like,
I mean, it's wild that because like, I mean, you're in like the 2000s, like the early aughts, where the boom of streetwear was happening at the time. Like you had, there was the dying age of Echo, and like, I mean,
do we have
why are you gonna tap me?
Into the segue.
Why are you gonna tap me for Echo? All right, so I'll give a little context. My first job in New York, so I literally graduated college 2012. No, Echo. No, I got hired as a graphic designer at Echo in 2013. Dude, it was the seamless delivery driver uniform.
Or like the uncle on the train who got the sweatshirt from his nephew.
Yeah,
who
dude.
hadn't worn it like mad long, but like got extra zippers.
This is a true story. 6 months into me living in New York City, I was on the train and I saw a guy wearing an Echo hoodie take a shit on the C train. I was leaving Echo to go home. I saw a guy wearing the brand I work for take a shit on the train. Yes. It was a harsh reality on every format. But that's also how I met Jesse, because the owner of Echo, not Mark was not involved at all. This guy, Seth, sold Echo to Iconics, which is like one of those parent brands.
Which I was like Rockaware and
all the ones that you guys think are dead now, like FUBU, anything you would buy at Macy's, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then he sold that, and he took the money and he bought half of a bunch of streetwear brands that were based in New York, which was Alife, which is how I met Jesse. There was Rocksmith, which is long dead. Wu-Tang, Dime Piece, Hell's Bells. There was like a bunch of shit. Yes, Lamar and Dolly. Yeah.
Oh God,
dude! All the brands you even the people relevant, they're like, I have no idea what he's talking about. Oh yeah, Slow
we
Bucks.
were there for the Slow Bucks fucking meltdown that happened when 50. Fucking
all right.
Oh, that was.
How do I even begin? All right, so I'm gonna paint you guys a quick picture. It's me. Jesse's in another room, but we're in the same building. I'm across the street from the guy who goes by Fat Jew. Do you guys know who Fat Jew is?
Fat Jewish. Yeah.
The meme guy, yes.
Yes. All he does is repost memes.
Was on payroll to just hang out in the fucking spaces.
Kind of. But it was me, the Fat Jew. Then there was this guy named Soup, who was like the manager of this brand called Slow Bucks. Round of applause if you know what Slow Bucks is, by the way. I just remember the darkest people in the room. God damn, dude. That's the brand it was for, though. It was like a heat maker. It was rap shit. It was like urban rap shit in Queens. So this is where 50 Cents get relevant.
Okay.
It was Summer Jam 2014 or 15. Yeah, please keep saying yeah so I don't sound crazy. There was a guy named Slow and there was a guy named Bucks. They came together to make a brand called Slow Bucks, which was like, it was strictly queen shit. It was literally a snail that was like speeding away, leaving a trail of money.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
Oh, shit.
I've never seen this brand. I'll be honest.
I would look at that shit all the time.
And I'm from Queens. I have.
Their whole business was doing quick strikes on Nike, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
Jordan
they would.
releases and
So they would find out what the next Jordan release would be like a week beforehand. They would quickly change the base color of the shirt to match the Jordans, and then that was they would put it on Chris Brown when he came to the Heatmaker studio. They would post it, and that was the business. But this did $10 million a year.
Yeah.
Then at Summer Jam, whatever year that was, Slow was on stage during 50's set, and then they had some sort of altercation where 50 said, "That chain you were wearing is now mine."
Oh no.
He took his chain, and then Slow went to not even a real lawyer. It was like a fake lawyer to post like this weird Instagram thing, and then all of Queens, which was the entire business, said, "Nah, bro," and then 10 million tanked.
Like
Oh
the
my
next
God.
day,
The next day,
every shop was dropping their account.
All the brands, including Wu-Tang.
And you got fucking Seth Gersberg, who's
Yes.
literally like, okay, so just backstory. Seth Gersberg was the money side of Echo, big money, would never fucking fail to remind you, I made fucking $16 million on one T-shirt design. And you're like, oh, cool,
every day he's had it.
There was 6 brands at that time, dude. Like, cool, got you. But fucking... Yeah. So he's sold Echo, and he's replacing Echo with like 6 to 8 streetwear brands.
Yep.
Which he plans to fill that gap with.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna fill this Echo gap with 6 to 8 streetwear brands. Like in my mind, how the fuck did you think that was gonna work to begin with?
I don't know, man. Shit didn't. He was gonna fill all the Echo stores with the brands I said earlier. So it was gonna be like Wu-Tang. Everybody knows Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
That W is gonna sell forever.
Right.
Somehow
Yeah, true.
this snail was outselling the Wu-Tang W.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Doesn't make any sense. But yes, all that to say, the best brand that we had tanked immediately.
And he goes into war mode.
I'm not joking. He asked me if he should kidnap Lloyd Banks.
Wow.
He literally looked at me. He was like, "Do you think I should kidnap Lloyd Banks? I have a bunch of Russians that could kidnap Lloyd Banks." I was like,
what's that gonna even accomplish? Like I want to know
I
what's
don't know.
the series of thinking. Be like, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna snatch him up, and then the shirts are gonna come back. Like
I don't know, man.
And then we're gonna put Lloyd Banks on a snail.
Dude, when you
kidnapping Young Buck, like Young Buck's not getting
well,
kidnapped.
then I mean he got kicked out of probably like I think the year after or something like
when
that.
your
right?
entire company is like based on a snail graphic and then it tanks immediately, just, like all the brands were like good. All respectable brands at the time, at least, you know.
Yeah, but this guy literally, oh my God, yeah. He wanted everything. He wanted 6 of his own brain child.
It was,
children. What would you call that? Brain
Yeah,
children?
no wonder.
Brainchild?
No wonder the submarine exploded.
Bro, like he literally was like creative directing alongside of like creative directors with his wife, by the way, who was all. I like show up to work one day and they're just like, yeah, here's your merch director and creative director. And
She was a buyer that he fucked behind his wife's back and then made. Why are you defending her?
Yeah,
she fucked her way there though.
I wasn't saying any of that. All I was saying was
my hands are clean of this.
Listen, I'm not saying. I'm just. We had this thing. We had this brand. We had these designs. I show up to work the next morning, and they're all changed, and they're all Echo designs that she designed. Took the rhino off, put an Alife logo on, and I lose my fucking shit. Jeez. And I'm genuinely just like.
I remember that day.
What the fuck am I here for then? Like, what am I doing here?
I genuinely remember that day.
Like, there were a lot of moments like that.
Yes.
So that's all I was getting to.
Wait, how do we get on this topic?
We were working for a guy who was like literally like we were talking about the origin story.
Yes.
I was asking why did you guys get into streetwear?
Oh, yeah.
We went all the way to full circle of Alife on the Rhino now. So,
Yeah.
That was a license and distro deal that went bad.
It was
that
very,
was like
yeah, it
any
was bad.
port in a storm situation where shit was so fucking bad. Because we were going to sell. There was like a 16, 18-month period where Jay-Z was interested in buying the brand from us.
Facts.
And
Actual facts.
for 16 to 18 months, we stopped making apparel. We stopped producing anything because we didn't want to give anybody any assets. We just were like, they do the due diligence, like we're walking away into the sunset. It's gonna be fucking sweet. And 18 months in, they're just like, we're good. So we literally at that point had no money, nothing to put out, no product in development. Should I be saying all this fucking shit?
I mean, it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, we're fine.
I don't think there's a
also,
statute of limitations on this right here.
Remember how I was saying like streetwear money is always weird? This is the shit.
Oh yeah, like I'm grabbing like bundles of dollars from certain people in different places just to like.
What's the now I gotta know what's the weirdest thing you've been paid in then?
No, I've always gotten paid in money.
Okay.
It's just
Because I feel like somebody's gonna be like, "Yo, here's 2 pounds of weed. You can make money off of this. Thank you for making this
I'm cool
shirt."
with that too. That's fine. That's actually yes, I've done that.
Did you want me to say like Ethereum or something? Like, what the fuck? Dude, this is streetwear, dude. We can barely make the clothes. They can't like transfer crypto anywhere.
It was more just like who was giving you the money. Like
I mean, we live in this age right now where people are getting upset for getting free sneakers now. So like I was thinking like, oh, somebody's like, "Yo, you made the sneaker. Here's the sneaker. Now you're paid for the job."
All right, here I'll meet you in the middle because I was okay.
my beer's right there.
Oh yeah, get your beer.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I don't have my phone on me, so it's somewhere. Just as a PSA, my phone is somewhere.
This is great pod stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, what's the? Did you were meeting?
Yeah,
in the
no.
middle?
So no, because I'm just a leeway into another me and Jesse story. So I was never like I worked at Echo when it became it was called the Collective where we bought these other brands. So I was like a floating designer that was just around. There was a time where Jesse, we were working on a Puma collab for Alife.
Yeah.
So I was being paid by the Collective. I was never an Alife employee at this point. I became one later. But at the time where Jesse was like, "Hey, I need help with a couple Pumas. Do you have some time?" I said yes. And then this other guy, his name was Trey. Trey was like, "If you help him, we'll give you the shoes." So it wasn't necessarily, I could have told Jesse, I was going to say yes anyway, because I was like, fuck yeah, I want to do a Puma. Are you out of your mind?
Like
But
4.
I did 2 with you. I think I helped on other 2, but it wasn't like, I helped with from the bottom on 2, but then, yeah, there was like other 2 I touched.
Yeah.
And
for reference, Chris Cheney worked on the Alife Puma pack. It was an all-over print.
Stuck up mid.
Yeah, stuck up mid.
And a R689.
Yeah. So if you know what those are, if not, just go home and Google.
Cool. They turned out good.
They're going to be like $60, so you can buy it.
It's Puma's a tough sell, dude. No matter how like, there's so many brands that no matter how like well executed this thing is, it's still a fucking hard sell.
Yeah, Puma's bad.
Like you're starting to see some brands like crack that space now, like Asics recently, obviously the silver and the mesh.
Yeah, and then they got that Kiko shit, which is dope.
Great shit. And then Saucony's kind of doing it. Like they've got the dude who was behind some of the Action Bronson New Balance colorways.
Yep.
He's helping them with their stuff, and I just saw all their new shit for next year, and the palettes are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, shout out Jay.
But it's
That's
like
the homie.
It's hard, dude. Like Puma's a hard sell. We sold well. It was good.
No,
like,
that Puma collection was nice.
Did okay.
No one even knows what we're talking about.
I mean, so then let's pivot to Thumpers. What made you start Thumpers? Am I saying it right?
Oh,
yeah.
Which, by the way, can you just give a brief explanation of what Thumpers is?
Yeah.
All right, so
because it is technically like the reverse. Normally, people put Brooklyn on shit that they want to sell from Japan to Americans. You've done the reverse, where you design it in Brooklyn and sell it in Japan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like we had an Alife store in Japan, and I had people that I knew out there through all of that, and I had a motorcycle garage in Brooklyn with my brother, and we were like fabricating bikes, making bikes, and every so often we would like we'd make a shirt that would like sell a little bit, and then like we wouldn't, and then we would, and at some point this dude came up to me and he was like, "Would you be interested in like having some some product over at this. There was Beams. This is the store Beams in Japan.
Yeah.
That was.
They do a lot of collabs.
They were
now.
doing like some sort of like T-shirt exhibit, and they were like, "Would you be interested in like submitting some T-shirts to it?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, cool." Because I was already in the space, you know, like being in Alife, but like Thumpers was like I could get away over there. It was just like a bunch of us. We had the skate ramp in the backyard. We had like a little mini ramp, and it was just like a really good place to go decompress after work. And you know, they asked us if we wanted to throw some shirts in there, and I was like already in the space, so I was like, yeah, sure, we can knock some shirts out. We'll put them in there. And they did well. And then he was like, you know, I want to connect you with this investor. And because in Japan, you know, you can't have your own business there.
Okay.
Being American, World War II statutes and shit. But through him, we have like a partnership where
which is dope.
That's very.
We have
fire.
like a little store, and we have like a little showroom, and we sell to different shops out there, and it's cool. We're starting to finally like bring it to the U.S. Like, I didn't really want it to bring it to the U.S. for so long because I genuinely fucking hate U.S. customers.
Yeah.
Like U.S. consumers fucking.
Wait,
suck.
why though?
Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
I'm part of it. I'm fucking part of it, but we're not part of it. We're good. Everyone here is good.
Safe
you
space.
know,
That's right.
it was just like I see like I don't know. I don't want to sound like a grumpy old man.
Just
but,
do
like,
it. Just
you
do
see
it.
like the influencer effect, and you see
Yeah.
like the way people like. When we were growing up, it was like I want to have different shit than you. Like I don't want to have the same shit.
Yes,
than
when you and I grew up at the
100%.
same time. Yes.
like
Yeah.
look what I got, and I paid nothing for these fucking things, dummy. And other people
It's
now
a lost
just like,
art.
I have the
Yeah.
same shoes as you, and I paid
Right.
more.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's fucked up, and it just kind of got that way in the U.S. And I just through like going to Japan and like motorcycle culture out there, and like you know meeting a lot of different people and builders, and like riding around like. Trying to do like a motorcycle brand that wasn't like Tough Guy Skull, Brass Knuckle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, like cutesy shit. Like,
But wait, touch on the motorcycle part, because you didn't say that at the beginning. Like, why is it motorcycle influence? Like, why are you
got a
catering-
garage.
because it was a garage.
He got
Got
the
it,
garage.
got it.
And we were like building bikes. We had a handlebar that sold really well in Japan. It was called the
Interesting.
Headlock Bar.
That's the most Japanese shit I've ever heard.
So we had like a handlebar for a motorcycle that really it's like its own new shape. It like did this kind of like a BMX cruiser kind of like thing.
Uh-huh.
And then we started making them for bicycles as well. And the bars were checking over there, so we already had like a little bit of like
hell yeah.
of a thing going. And we were supposed to build a bike with Futura, and it just never happened. 'Cause
Damn,
Futura was a wild
dude.
Piece of shit. I
Futura
love him
is
to death,
one of
but
my favorite artists. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we were.
crazy.
Yeah, it's still not even built.
Fun fact: his name is Leonard.
Lenny.
Yeah. You see what he looks like? Of course his name is Lenny.
Yeah, Lenny. Come on.
I don't know. He's transcended what it looks like.
Like,
He's
if you
just too
told me-
old.
I mean, if you told me Scene's name was like Geraldo, I would be like, yeah. You know, like watch his name actually, because he looks Italian. Like, yeah, like these are names that.
What's
like,
Cause's name? Probably Philip.
Probably Chad.
Brian.
Oh, it is Brian. You're
Yeah,
right.
Brian.
Fucking Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild. Like Japanese culture, I'm a big fan of Japanese culture, but like being able to transcend.
I too
and-
like ramen.
No, it was like
alright.
it was like when you go out there and you're like hanging
Yeah.
out with like they're like shit's a little more insular out there. Like
Yeah.
you can like if you find something you're into, you can like fully like I
The
don't want to
sneaker-
sound like this is like I
The
sound
sneaker
like an
culture
asshole.
out there is crazy.
Yeah, fashion, everything. Like
Yeah.
they're just the way they embrace like things. It's like a similar way to the way that I embrace things.
I've never seen anyone wear
So I trusted it out there.
a Pump Fury, and then you take you just Google Japan, and then there's like 16 dudes wearing Pump Furies in every photo.
They probably have a Pump Fury bar. It's like you go there and they're like, yeah, bring your Pump Furies. Everybody drinks out of Pump Furies.
It's a good
Like-
shoe. It's a good shoe.
The shoe, it's a slip-on shoe. There's holes in it. You can't.
No, it's a great shoe.
I'm not a fan.
No, it's
I
a great
remember-
show.
I remember they made a Ghost in the Shell Pump Fury. And
Oh,
I
this
was
is a
like,
deep cut.
Just stop doing that.
And I was like, this is gross.
Nah, anime shoes are dope.
No, GR releases are the best.
Yes.
I will stand on that for the rest of my life. Like
Well, they're the most wearable.
a GR release is the best shit
Yeah. What's your favorite general release shoe?
of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, that's tough. Maybe that.
Here, I'll hit you. It's not a general release now, but I've gained an appreciation for the airships.
Oh my God.
They're cool. I like them.
They're bringing them back. Like what they're doing with it now. like you.
Now they're doing the
appreciate
bullshit with it. But yeah, but if I was able to buy them back in the day, I would have.
But that's different. That was like a myth when it was back in the day, like of like you finding it and being like, especially after like when the Jordan 1 came out, like after that they stopped making those airships, and they were just like you just had to be like legit dead stock. Your favorite way of talking about dead stock of finding a warehouse or finding a store.
Oh, don't even get me started on what dead stock
I don't
means.
want you to do 15 minutes on fucking dead stock. But that was the only way you can find airships back in the day. And now they're like, I mean, I talked to Russ about this. It's just like they're just bringing it back.
Do too many.
Yeah, they're just bringing it back. Just feed you different colors and be like, yo, here we go. We coming back.
Well, going back to the airship specific, I just like when Nike just does what it's supposed to. It's just like white shoe, colored swoosh, match it to the color that you like sort of preference yourself, and that's it.
I mean, they're good shoes.
Yeah, it's nice.
But so then what's your thoughts on Air Force Ones? Because I feel like this is the Air Force One capital here. So
yeah,
because that's what that is. It's white shoe, slap a color check, bam, you good to go.
Gum on the outsole.
Yeah, gum outsole. Well, this guy right here don't like gum outsole.
No, but here's the thing. As a
where's he from? Boston.
Stop! Don't you dare!
I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
No, but here's the thing about Air Force Ones, and I'll admit this: as a white guy, it's weird to be the guy who wears Air Force Ones that much.
Joking?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why? What is
when
it?
I was in Boston, it was a strategic choice where everyone's like, "Ooh, he's wearing Air Force Ones. That's nice." But I came to New York, and everyone's like, "Do you have like 7 pairs? Why is it brand new every time?"
Nobody questioned that
nobody.
here.
When I moved here, everyone was like, "Why are you wearing Air Force?" I don't know.
Where did you move? Crown Heights?
No, Williamsburg. Well, kind of. I don't know. I don't for some reason. Well, also I was at Echo, so nothing made any sense.
I mean, you were treading
I
water.
I was 23 and I was wearing Air Force Ones and an Echo hoodie. Everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
Yeah. It looked like you were 5 seconds away from pulling out your CD player.
And then I was like,
selling a CD.
No fact. And then I was like, "Oh, I'll go in on Reebok pumps." And this fucking guy was just like, "Reebok pumps, you fucking nerd." I was like, "God damn, dude, I can't win."
What did I win? I used to be an asshole. I was bad. I still deal with it often. They're like people like.
Nah, you weren't being an asshole, but you were just like, "Who the fuck wears Reebok pumps?"
It's a hard shoe to wear. It's amazing you can pull it off.
Thank you.
You know, you've styled it so well all these years.
What? So I mean, I love asking this question, but like, were you able to stand on sneaker lines? Did you have to? I mean, I feel like you're Mr. Invoice me, and I got it.
No, because like lines didn't.
I'm
happen
calling
until,
Jesse
like,
Invoice me from now on, dude.
No, I mean like lines didn't happen until I was already at the place where the lines were. Like lines, like we were, like Alife was early to the game. Like we were before anyone gave a shit. We had shoes there, and we were like,
Rivington Club was. I mean, if you aren't familiar with Rivington Club, Alife used to have a store down by next to my favorite spot right now, Joey Rose's. But they used to have a store.
Sandwich shop.
And so that spot, I mean, I talk about it on your episode a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there, and it's like you are part of the secret society. You got to get buzzed in. You are like everything's in glass cases.
None of the employees liked you.
Not exact. I was just about to say. First time I went there, I got yelled at. And
sounds
he says
all checks out.
He said it was Kunle. Just
Kunle was
Yeah. If you're not sure who Kunle is, he's if you go on the street and you see a big ass ear snot across the street, like on the walls.
Iraq.
Graffiti artist of the Iraq crew.
Yeah.
Has both threatened Haas's and my life.
Yes, that's what we share in common. That's
Bless you. Really?
I mean, yeah. I walked into the store and so I used to do graph heavily at the time. And so I went in and I wanted to buy a marker, and I go in and I ask. He turns to me. He's like, "You don't do graph?" And I just go, "I just want the marker." And he just goes, "But what'd you write?" And I go, "I mean, I'm not telling you." And he goes, "You don't do graph?" And I was just like, "All right, man, I'm just not gonna buy the marker. I can go to Scrapyard." And that was it. And I never went back there. So I got scared away.
He cost the company a lot of money in a lot of ways.
There was a.
Oh my God! He fucking I'm gonna
go ahead. No, go ahead. Tell it.
He's very nice now.
Super nice, like mellowed out, like he had a rough.
He's been through some shit.
I mean, like
he was homeless at one point.
Yeah.
But to be like he was out and he was gay and he was in the streets and he had to deal with some fucking ignorant motherfuckers and like it occurred. And I've seen some shit go down and like his life wasn't. Whatever. I'm not gonna speak on that anymore. He's a great dude. He's come a long fucking way. I love him to death. What were we saying?
No, I was just talking about my time at Rivington Club. So yeah, you're.
No, he's the best. He's the best. He's doing great now.
Yeah, no, he's the man now.
But yeah, there was.
Were you part of the construction of Rivington Club? Like, were you part of like them picking that spot so fucking far away from everything else?
No. That was probably Rob, Tony, and Arnaud. I came in after the store was open.
Okay.
But I came in like right in the beginning. Or not right at the beginning, but like pretty close thereafter. I was just helping them with like pop-up shops and like getting shoes and we were that was like Wild West. That was back when you could like trade shoes with different stores around the world.
Yeah,
like,
that's wild.
Like basketball shoes weren't working in their country, running shoes weren't working in this country. I'm gonna send you this, you're gonna send me that. All of these stores still exist and you know who they are, but like I don't want to whatever. Yeah. But that was just like that was what we were doing then. So that was kind of when I got like roped in with those dudes and it was a good run. Like it was fun.
Do you have like a Rivington Club story? I know, you just tell the best one.
Wait, here, because I think we're close to time.
I know, yeah. So
let's Jesse pick one story that's your favorite.
We have to keep it pushing. Like I probably not.
No, you don't want to?
I don't know, man. No. I don't wanna.
All right, well here, do me this one. I know I've made you tell the story then, because this would be a great one to end on.
Okay. Well, I still have my last question.
Okay,
let's go to that.
Yeah.
Go to that.
Do this. All right. So
yeah, do yours. Do yours.
The way I end the podcast, and thank you all for coming out.
Round of applause for yourselves one more time.
So, I want you to think about the time where you're about to get those all courts as a kid. Right now, close your eyes. Envision yourself. Yeah, crying. Envision your younger self about to open that box and. Now, you transported back behind you. What would you tell yourself as you open that box?
You're not going to fucking like these shoes on your feet. They don't even look good. You don't like them. You just did all that shit, and you're going to wear them 3 fucking times because they look stupid on your little feet. That's what I would tell that kid.
Man, look, perfectly said. You should be little Jesse. But that's you got something else to say? You look like you got something else to say.
No. That's good.
All right, cool. Thank you all for coming out.
Yeah. Round of applause for Haas. Round of applause for Jesse.
And you know what we say each week when we end the episode? Wear your kicks.
That's right.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.